everyone, let's make something different this time. Let's make handmade beads and a tier tray garland, Alice in Wonderland style. So firstly, I rolled out a little bit of air drying clay. Then I had this stencil, harlequin style, which I applied on my air drying clay. And after carefully removing the stencil, I applied this clay on the half part of my styrofoam heart, just carefully so I don't ruin the design on it because it's still wet. So I just carefully gluing it on my styrofoam heart, taking of course any excess of the clay with my spatula, so it only fits on the half of my heart. Okay, on the other side of my heart, I decided to put some stems, so drink me, eat me. These stems came from Stamperia and they are the part of Alice in Wonderland collection from Stamperia. So carefully, as you can see, I am applying it on the other side of my heart, and I decided to use my scissors for this. These scissors seen a lot of things. So I just cut the excess out and carefully glue it on the other part of my styrofoam heart, and then in the middle of it, to cover up where my two clay parts meet, I decided to put some pearls with my mold. So I glued them there as well. Since this is a tier tray garland, I use this tag as well. I painted it on both sides with white paint, 2 layers, let it dry of course between each layer, and on one side I decided to put Alice in Wonderland. So this is of course another Stamperia mold, and again I am gluing it on. As you can see, and sorry guys, I am not sure why I didn't make the video where I did the base. The base was air drying clay and I put there some roses design on it. So I'm very sorry, but that's what's there, and I am now gluing some roses as well. So here you can see, and of course I let it dry. Then I had this styrofoam mushroom, so I decided to use this. Again, on top of my mushroom, I decided to put air drying clay. So this is kind of another bead we are making. So rolling out the clay, applying the rose on it, and then I am gluing it on my mushroom carefully of course, and again taking any excess of the clay of course. So Yeah, but really be careful if you decide to do this, because the clay is wet, and if you press too hard it will ruin your design and you have to start, of course, over. In between my air drying clay was drying, I decided to do some more beads, this time with glitter. So I just applied black paint, and before it dry out I applied this black glitter on it, of course in a container, because I can use the glitter over and over. So there you go, my beads. And now my air drying clay on my heart is dry, so I am about to painting this harlequin design with black paint. Of course, I am alternating this all the way around this side, and before I start doing something else, of course, so I am firstly painting it black. And I am sorry if you hear dog barking, that's my Labrador. He's always barking when I'm trying to voice over something, so I just gave up of taking him out. So on the other side I decided just to use gold metallic paint, and I am painting it all, even the pearls. And then after everything I painted, I just took off a little bit of the excess with wet towel, where you can see or read this "eat me, drink me" sign, so it could be better visible. And of course roses are red, right? So I painted those red, and then I applied with wooden pick some gold dots on my heart. And now it is time to work on my mushroom some more. So on the bottom I put modeling clay. Oh no, not clay, I'm sorry, it's modeling paste. And I just with a wooden pick I made a design like it would look like maybe a mushroom something, and I let it dry, of course, before continue working on it. So now it is time to seal my hearts. I'm using glaze. Of course you can use varnish as well. I was going for the shiny look, but if you prefer something not so shiny, you can also use matte varnish, of course, the same way. That's not a problem. So, and I think I applied 2-3 layers of the glaze. Now I decided to paint everything like the base with black paint on my tag, and then I wiped it off with wet towel, and as you can see the towel makes it to put on my Alice as well, so everything is nice and rusting looking. And now for a little bit of golden touch, I used my glue for metallic foil or flakes. this glue you apply, you let it dry until it becomes transparent, and then this time I applied metallic foil to it, and it sticks here and there, and it gives a nice golden shimmer on your design. So it will make a nice golden shimmer because it's not completely covered the whole design which you are making. So now I am also painting a little bit more my Alice with some golden paint, and of course a little bit with some red paint as well, because as I was saying, roses are red, right? At least they are in Alice in Wonderland. So I painted I really used black, gold, red, because this was a custom order and my customer wanted to have like an Alice in Wonderland decor and in these special colors. So this is really only these 3 colors I am using in this project. If you like this kind of video or any kind of videos I'm making, please do subscribe to my channel. Please do give me a nice comment or a thumbs up so you can see more videos in the future. It means really a lot to me, and it helps me grow. So now the paints are dry and I am sealing it with matte varnish. The varnish is of course water based. Then I let it again everything dry. Now on to the next step, and this is applying 3D glue for metallic flakes. And this way I just applied it on the roses, on the eat me, drink me sign of my heart. And again, you let this glue dry until it becomes transparent, and then you can apply your metallic foil or those metallic flakes as well, but let it dry until it becomes transparent. And here I am applying my golden flakes, and it will of course sticks only there where the glue was applied. So this way my roses in the background became more visible, and it did put a nice accent to my Alice in Wonderland tag, of course. And now my mushrooms are dry. So again, the base, everything was painted in black paint. I wiped off any excess of it with wet towel again before continuing to paint it some more. And the top of my mushroom again I painted in gold metallic paint, acrylic paint, and again took any excess of it, so nice rustic look. Okay, on my other side of my tag I had this custom rice paper printed. The images came from Etsy, and this I glued with my decoupage glue. So I applied a little bit of decoupage glue on the tag itself, then I placed the rice paper on, and then I glued it on with more decoupage glue. And don't worry, these images are public domain, so you can use it also for commercial use. Now I decided my image is only black and white, so I am adding my custom golden paint to it because my customer asked for black, gold, red, right? So I am adding a little bit of gold to it, and I am doing a little bit of shading as well on it before I'm about to seal it again. And this way I sealed it with firstly with my glitter decoupage glue, of course, then let it dry, and then it was time to seal it with some glaze. Of course, this side, the other side was already sealed. So on my mushroom, I again applied the 3D pen for metallic flakes, so the rose became visible. So I let it dry until it became transparent, and then I applied the metallic flakes on it as well, as you can see here. This is kind of messy, so if you wanna use gloves, do it because it sticks on your fingers. It really does. But use a container because you can use the rest of the flakes later, so you can use it over and over until it really there is nothing left. So you can do it, and then with a brush just took off any excess. And now let's do the fun part. It's almost finished. My tea tray Alice in Wonderland garland. So I am using 3 wool, also white, I think it was gray, and or only 2, and I'm not sure now. Oh no, I only using 2. I'm using white and black, and I'm making my own tassel for it. So because I didn't have one which would match my Alice in Wonderland style, so here I'm cutting it off and continue working on my tassel before let's then put the garland together. And I must admit, guys, and I will admit it, before I started doing this, I started doing it and I put all the beads the wrong way. It was like I did it the wrong way, and then I was looking at it and I was like, oh my god, no, I didn't want to put this way, so I had to take everything out and do it again. So yeah, that's the life of a crafter. Sometimes it's just you don't see the mistakes until it's really done, but this was a mistake I could correct, so it was not a problem. So I have this long needle which I am using for making my garlands. So I am alternating my handmade beads, and I had this wooden small beads which I always put in between. But this is really up to you, the way you want your garland to be. But this way you are making your own unique one with technically handmade beads. So you have something nobody else will have. and we are almost finished. So thank you for watching this video, and here it is, my Alice in Wonderland inspired garland with handmade beads saying eat me, drink me, made with the help from Stamperia, of course. Until next time, bye!